Tonight, we delve into one of America's most enduring mysteries, the legend of D.B. Cooper. The only unsolved airline hijacking in U.S. historypopularmechanics.com. In 1971, a man jumped out of a Boeing 727 into a stormy night with $200,000 in cash, never to be seen again. Was he a criminal mastermind who beat the odds, or a daredevil whose fate was sealed by that leap? More than 50 years later, we still don't know his identity or what became of himhistory.com. Stay with us as we explore the astonishing story of D.B. Cooper, the skyjacker who vanished without a trace, and how his daring heist turned into a modern American myth. The fateful flight FBI composite sketches of the hijacker known as D.B. Cooper, based on witness descriptions. On the afternoon of November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve, a nondescript man calling himself Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland to SeattleFB.gov. He wore a business suit and carried a briefcase. Shortly after takeoff, the dark-haired mid-40s man coolly handed a note to a flight attendant stating, "I have a bomb in my briefcase," and calmly showed her a glimpse of wires and red sticks in SeattleFB.gov. His demands were bold: $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes to be delivered when the plane landed in Seattle. The pilots were instructed to tell passengers of a minor delay while circling near Seattle, buying time for authorities to gather the ransom and gearhistory.com. Under the hijacker's orders, Flight 305 landed at Seattle's SeaTac Airport after about 3 tense hours. True to his word, Cooper released all 36 passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes. He kept a few crew members aboard and directed the pilots to take off again, heading toward Mexico City with a planned fuel stop in Reno. What happened next still boggles the mind. Around 8 p.m., as the jet flew over the dense woods of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper lowered the 727's rear stairway and leaped into the dark, stormy night with a parachute on and the ransom money tied to his bodyfeed.gov. When the plane safely landed in Reno, the notorious hijacker was gone. Against all odds, a criminal had parachuted from 10,000 feet and disappeared. Thus began what the FBI would call one of the great unsolved mysteries in its history. Manhunt and clues news of Cooper's incredible escape spread quickly, and law enforcement sprang into action. The FBI, which had been alerted during the flight, launched an extensive manhunt codenamed Norjack for Northwest hijacking. Agents scoured the plane for evidence and combed the rugged terrain below the flight path. Helicopters and search teams traced the suspected jump zone in southern Washington state but found no trace of the skydiving suspect. All that was left on the aircraft were a few intriguing clues: a black clip-on tie, which Cooper removed before jumping, 8 filter-tipped cigarette butts he'd smoked during the flight, and 2 of the parachutes he'd left behind. The investigation faced a baffling question. Could Cooper have survived such a perilous jump? Many experts were skeptical. No experienced parachutist would have jumped in the pitch-black night, in the rain with a 200-mile-an-hour wind in his face, wearing loafers and a trench coat, noted one FBI agent, pointing out that the hijacker's escape was likely a suicide mission for anyone but a seasoned. And evidence suggested Cooper was not an expert skydiver at all, making his chances of a safe landing slim. Despite the odds, authorities had to consider that Cooper might be alive, and they hunted for him as if he were. In the first 5 years after the incident, the FBI interviewed hundreds of people and considered over 800 suspects, only to eliminate virtually all of them FBI.gov. They checked for anyone with parachute training, criminal records, or a history of skydiving stunts. One person on the list, Richard Floyd McCoy Jr., became a particular focus. Astonishingly, McCoy pulled off a copycat skyjacking less than 5 months after Cooper's, parachuting out of a plane with $500,000 in April 1972. He was caught and imprisoned and later killed in an escape attempt, leading some to suspect McCoy was also the mysterious Cooper. The FBI eventually ruled McCoy out, citing mismatched descriptions and other evidence FBI.gov, but questions lingered. Meanwhile, no body, chute, or remaining money was found in the wilderness. As the years dragged on, many agents believed Cooper likely did not survive the jump, given the sub-freezing night, rough wooded terrain, and the fact that he jumped with an unsteerable parachute and no protective gear FBI.gov. decaying $20 bills from Cooper's ransom money found in 1980 by an 8-year-old boy. In February 1980, an 8-year-old boy digging in the sand along the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington, uncovered 3 bundles of rotting $20 bills totaling $5,800 FBI.gov history.com. Amazingly, the serial numbers matched the ransom money that had been given to D.B. Cooper. It was the first and only physical evidence ever found outside the plane, part of Cooper's cash discovered on a muddy riverbank 8 years after his disappearance, history.com. This discovery reignited public fascination and prompted new searches along that river. How did the money end up there? Some speculated it floated downstream from Cooper's jump area. Others thought Cooper, if alive, might have buried it, and nature later unearthed. The money mystery only deepened the legend and did not definitively answer whether Cooper lived or died. In the aftermath, authorities also made sure such a stunt couldn't be repeated. The FAA ordered all Boeing 727s to be retrofitted with Cooper vanes, devices that prevent rear stairways from opening mid-flight history.com. The D.B. Cooper case was leaving its mark not just on folklore, but on aviation safety as well. Throughout the late 20th century, the FBI chased thousands of leads in the Cooper case, from tips about mysterious loners suddenly flush with cash to alleged fragments of parachutes found in the woods, but none panned out. The media had dubbed the caper D.B. Cooper due to an early press mistake. The hijacker had actually given the name Dan Cooper, and by now that name had entered American lore. By 2016, after 45 years of fruitless investigation, the FBI officially closed its active case file, theguardian.com. The Bureau publicly stated that its resources would be redirected, effectively shelving the mystery without a solution. Yet even as law enforcement stepped back, the legend of D.B. Cooper was only growing, kept alive by intrepid citizens and a certain cultural obsession with the idea of the guy who got away. Suspects, theories, and modern twists. If D.B. Cooper survived, who could he have been? This question has spawned endless theories. Over the years, no fewer than 7 individuals have confessed to being D.B. Cooper, and dozens more have been accused or suspected. Suspects have ranged from ex-military paratroopers to rogue businessmen to enigmatic drifters. One woman insisted that her late husband, Dwayne Weber, admitted on his deathbed to being Cooper, leading the FBI to check his fingerprints. They didn't match. A Vietnam veteran named Robert Rackstraw was publicly accused by a team of cold case investigators in a 2016 documentary due to circumstantial clues in his background, though he too was never proven to be Cooper. In fact, so many tips and theories flooded in that the FBI's Cooper case files grew to over 60 volumes of documents. Still, no suspect has ever been charged. And one of the most intriguing modern twists came in 2021 to 2023. Remember Richard McCoy Jr., the copycat hijacker from 1972? In a dramatic resurgence of that old theory, McCoy's own children, now adults, have come forward claiming their father was D.B. Cooper. The McCoy siblings say they even discovered an old parachute hidden in their late mother's shed, which they believe was the very chute Cooper used. According to one investigator, this parachute is literally 1 in a billion, a model matching the kind used in the 1971 hijacking. These siblings assert that McCoy had both the experience, Vietnam War pilot skills, and the daring to have pulled off the Cooper heist, and that he kept the secret until his death. In late 2023, they turned the parachute over to the FBI, hoping modern DNA testing could compare their father's DNA to genetic material left on Cooper's tie, or other evidence. The FBI has not made any official comment confirming or denying this renewed investigation. If McCoy truly was Cooper, it would mean the FBI did catch the skyjacker back in 1972, only to have him escape and die in a shootout. It's a sensational theory, and it shows just how tenacious the Cooper sleuths are, even half a century later. For now, the case remains open-ended. D.B. Cooper's true identity and fate are still unconfirmed history.com, and the story continues to invite anyone with a hunch to try and solve it. A cultural phenomenon and lasting legend, D.B. Cooper may not have been caught by authorities, but he certainly captured America's imagination. In the public mind, he became a sort of folk outlaw, inspiring songs, movies, books, and even a world of pop culture tributes. FBI agent Ralph Himmelsbach, who worked the case, famously branded Cooper a rotten, sleazy crook. But to many Americans, the sheer audacity of the crime had a romantic appeal. In the decades following the hijacking, novelty t-shirts asked D.B. Cooper, where are you? And inns and taverns in the Pacific Northwest held Cooper-themed parties each November to mark the anniversary. A local tavern in Ariel, Washington, near the suspected jump zone, ran an annual Cooper Day celebration for decades, drawing crowds to toast the mysterious skyjacker's legenden. More recently, a multi-day fan gathering called CooperCon has convened each year around the anniversary, where enthusiasts and investigators swap theories and celebrate the unsolved case in what began as a man's criminal act has transformed into a piece of Americana, puzzle that people love to talk about. Popular media also keeps the story alive. Over the years, numerous documentaries and dramatizations have revisited the Cooper saga. From 1981's thriller, The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, to a 2022 Netflix series, D.B. Cooper, Where Are You?, filmmakers have repeatedly tried to reconstruct the crime and probe new leads. The hijacker has been name-dropped in songs and portrayed in TV shows. Even the hit Marvel series Loki featured a tongue-in-cheek sequence revealing its title character as the man who jumped from that 727, a testament to Cooper's iconic status. And of course, the internet age has supercharged the mystery's reach. Online forums, podcasts, and YouTube channels dissect every available detail. Amateur sleuths with aliases like Cooper Crusader or Snowman pore over declassified FBI files and climate data, debating everything from the flight path to the brand of Cooper's loafers. It's an ongoing, collaborative detective story that anyone can join. In an era of instant information, the Cooper case endures as a rare enigma, a real-life whodunit with no definitive answer beckoning the curious to keep searching. The skyjacker who outfoxed history. So, what are we to make of the D.B. Cooper saga after all this time? In many ways, it's a story that embodies the allure of the unsolved. Cooper's disappearance remains a tantalizing blank in the record books, a challenge to authority that went unanswered and a narrative that invites endless speculation. Perhaps it captivates us because it's a twist on the classic American outlaw tale, a man against the system, pulling off a feat so outrageous we want it to be true that he made it. Or maybe it endures because it sits at the intersection of cold fact and folklore. We have the hard evidence of a crime, the ripped-out air stair, the marked bills, the tie left on a seat, but not the final truth of what happened. This ambiguity has turned D.B. Cooper into a modern myth, one that people can shape to fit their own imagination of who he was, hero, villain, or phantom, and what fate he met. As one FBI official admitted, the daring hijack and disappearance remain an intriguing mystery for law enforcement and amateur sleuths alike. In the end, D.B. Cooper's greatest legacy might be the enduring sense of wonder he left us. His story reminds us that even in a world of high-tech surveillance and scientific certainty, some puzzles can persist. Each year, new bits of evidence or fresh claims, a buried parachute here, a deathbed confession there, rekindle the question, could the case finally be solved? And yet, the possibility remains that we may never get a conclusive answer, that Cooper slipped through the cracks of history for good. Until that day, if it ever comes, the tale of D.B. Cooper will continue to soar in our collective consciousness, equal parts cautionary tale and adventure lore. Thank you for joining us on this journey into America's greatest hijacking mystery. Until next time on Dock Watchers, keep your eyes on the skies and your mind open. The next piece of the puzzle could be out there, waiting to be discovered. Good night and happy sleuthing.